wake up. Barbados, get up.
Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Morning to you.
Good morning to you. It's Thursday, June 5th, 2024. I had to think about that a little bit. No, it's the 6th. Yes, June 6th, 2024. The days are going by so quickly. I think that they're leaving me behind. Maybe. I'm Tisha Hines. I'll be here with you until 8 o'clock this morning. So welcome to another Morning Barbados presentation. Certainly hope you had a great night's rest last evening and you are ready and roaring to go for today. So it's cricket, lovely cricket here in Barbados, and I know that you are taking in everything that's happening in and around the beautiful Oval, because it is indeed. If you haven't as yet, make sure you capitalize on a ticket and go down, take the little ones and enjoy all there is to offer, because this shan't soon happen again. Trust me, it is one of those occasions that you will want to talk about for years. So speaking of things we'll want to speak about for years to come, we have a great friend to Morning Barbados. She's here joining us this morning. Of course, Marsha Aline is the Chief Product Development Officer at the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. And she joins us on set for the very first time in years. And when I say that, I mean years. Good morning, Marsh.
Good morning. It is such a pleasure to be here in person and to hug you in person.
It's true. There have been so many things that have kept us apart over the years.
And we won't speak about those things.
It's wonderful to have you on set and to speak about this interesting and amazing new initiative.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for giving the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. the opportunity to speak about the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association Foundation Scholarship, the Owen Arthur Foundation Scholarship, actually, for 2024. And it's really a momentous occasion. We talk about first in terms of cricket, but this is also a first for the FCC as well, because this scholarship has never been actually awarded before. And Barbados was the first recipient of this scholarship, which obviously, as we know, was in honor of the Right Honourable Owen Seymour Arthur and his philanthropic work and his work that he did with the cruise lines in Barbados during his years, obviously, in office.
Well, this is truly amazing, and it's heartwarming to hear that the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association would step out in this way to honor the late Prime Minister. Talk to us about who are the people who can be recipients of this first installment, so to speak, of this scholarship.
So I want to share, first of all, that the grant is actually $25,000 which is 50,000 Barbados dollars, and it's not so much an individual, but it's an institution that really would be allowed to apply for the grant. And we're looking for institutions who are in education, who are looking at educational opportunities, developmental, community, anything that's actually progressive, or things that are very much enshrined with the youth, development, are types of projects that we're looking at.
And we know those things are the hallmark, the legacy of the late Prime Minister as well. Advancement through education is something that we know was near and dear to his heart. Working in the community. After all, he's the PM that said we wanted to put a graduate of the University of the West Indies in every home. So it must be wonderful to be able to partner with this organization to honor him in this way.
It truly is. And, as we're all obviously working on lean budgets, I think it's a great opportunity for any institution who already has a program that they have in place that just wants a little propping up in terms of funds to be able to apply for this particular grant. And the wonderful thing about it is not just being given to one institution. What they're actually doing is actually splitting that 25,000 across the applicants that actually do apply and are actually awarded. So persons can be granted up to $5,000 US or 10,000 Barbados dollars if they're interested in actually being, part of this
Are
opportunity.
we ready to roll out the application process? Because I know people will want to process and find out more about it before they really delve into exactly how can I get my hands on this funding to be able to move forward with this budget. And I love that you said we're all working on lean budgets. I heard my crew in the back saying, yes, we are.
Well, the application form is already online and it's live. It sits on our corporate BTMI page. So all persons will have to do is to log on to www.visitbarbados.org. Obviously, go into our corporate page, and then they would actually see the scholarship up on the right-hand corner. Click on that, and there's the application form. For persons who would like to not apply directly online but want to actually print it and then fill it out afterwards, that's fine as well. Or if you're not so technically inclined and you want to come to the office and actually get a hard copy of the application form, that is also available to you as well. And our PR team is actually helping us in terms of actually housing the application forms. So persons can actually send an email to bellh@visitbarbados.org. bellh@visitbarbados.org, or you can also call our switchboard as well. Of course, everybody knows our numbers, 535-3700, and we're easy to find. I think we are, so if you need further information, you can call Bell Holder, you can call myself, you can call Marsha Armstrong. All of us were available and ready to actually, answer any questions or queries persons may have.
It's pretty interesting that it's fostering that connection because, an international agency that you'd usually work through is, presenting this or such a major part of it and funding it. But a lot of the times we don't see the work that the BTMI is doing in other areas outside of the traditional marketing. And this most certainly is a way that we can keep the legacy of the late Prime Minister alive. And, I dare say is one of these things that you do as an organization that people don't immediately say, hey, this falls under the BTMI.
Absolutely. But the thing is, at the end of the day, Tricia, it's all about sustainability. And if we just concentrate on what we have in front of us and we don't actually leave a legacy behind or work towards the future or embrace the future or actually make a space for our youth, then, what are we really doing? Why are we doing what we're doing? And in addition to the Owen Arthur Foundation Scholarship, there's also the FCC, FCA competitions, which are also happening right now, and that is directly targeted to the schools. We've already sent information out, and children are expected to actually apply and be part of an opportunity to win a cruise for two. Can you imagine?
I can imagine. What does it mean for these organizations, for an organization like this Cruise Association that's not necessarily based in Barbados, to be able to reach out and bring communities on board in this way outside of the traditional players who they would engage with on a daily basis?
So I think that what most persons don't know, that Barbados is still very much a marquee destination. If you put Barbados on your itinerary for a cruise, more than likely you're guaranteed to actually sell out, or the interest is definitely a lot higher. In addition to that, the Caribbean is still the most sought after cruise destination, certainly within the winter period. Not so much the summer because people go other places. And so the FCC is very much aware of the pivotal role that the Caribbean and Barbados plays from a cruise perspective. So yes, they would want to ensure that they're able to support in any way, form or fashion. And that is why we actually have these competitions and these grants actually.
All right, so we'll get a little further into what you need to do, the particular areas that you might be interested in after this break. So stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Calling all Soccerholics! The highly anticipated soccer pop-up party of the season is back! Follow us to a different location every Friday night from 8 p.m. from May 10th to June 14th for the Barbados Lottery White Oak Rum 98.1 The One Soccer Stock Pop-Up Party. We bring you the music and giveaways, and you bring the vibes and the action.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
From 98.1 to CBC TV8 comes the Soca Avenue, the sweetest soca hour in radio. It's artists with new
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
My name is Adam Cesarano, and I'm the president of the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association. It's my pleasure today to introduce the CEO of the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association and the person who initiated this amazing scholarship fund, Michelle Page.
The Owen Arthur Scholarship Fund is created to honor a man who created the ability for the FCCA member lines and the Caribbean to come together to communicate. He had the vision to be able to have us work together, and that is why we are so proud to have this scholarship in his name.
So more information about the Owen Arthur Scholarship Fund, which was created by Michelle Page. This scholarship fund will rotate around the Caribbean and will be given out once a year for $25,000 to the most deserving destination. Each year we'll announce the winner at the FCCA Foundation Dinner during Sea Trade in April. Hope to see you there.
So make sure that you get in with that opportunity that's now available. And we were saying going into the break and watching this video, Marcia, how much the late Prime Minister has done for this organization, for these people, to want to honor him in this way as they kind of reach back and offer opportunities.
It's actually so interesting that you would say that, because talking to Michelle Page, who obviously is synonymous with FCCA, and she would have actually shared how influential the right Owen Arthur would have been in her life, and her legacy. And so she really wanted to actually find some way to give back and to honor his legacy, and this is what they actually came up with. There are so many people that, lives he touched, and so much significance that he would have done within the Caribbean that we may not even know the surface of it. But it's wonderful to see that this opportunity is here for Barbadians to be able to actually take advantage of.
Absolutely. And it's of equal importance that we continue to be able to encourage those organizations that might not have the level of funding that they might need to be able to assist in certain areas. As Chief Product Development Officer, you'd know that as we look across the island, there's so many amazing ideas that people have to be able to develop attractions, help communities, make ourselves better. So scholarships like this really give them the extra edge, a little footing to be able to move a little closer to their dreams.
That is so true. And you may have an institution that has most of the funding but need an extra $10,000, and this grant, this scholarship is exactly what will help them, to be able to realize their dreams. And so there are communities all across the island. I know that we are forming different communities and different community programs. And I believe that this is an opportunity for these communities who have formalized themselves, who actually have, a charitable organization, to be able to actually apply for the grant. Because obviously it must be as an institution and it can't be as an individual. I just don't want Tricia and Marcia to get together and say we're going to actually apply for this particular grant, but we must actually have, a registered charity or an NGO or some kind of company, registration to be able to actually qualify for the particular grant.
As you move across Barbados, and I know that we now have a ministry that kind of oversees the third sector, and that was a fantastic move as well. As you move across Barbados and see the work of charitable organizations and community organizations, what part does that play in the way that you market Barbados?
I think it plays a tremendous part, because at the end of the day, we know our visitors come here because of our warm destination and because of the sea and the sun. There's no getting away from that. But when they get here and they recognize that we do have a rich heritage and culture on the island, and we also have a very, very active community, the average traveler who's actually booking a vacation to the Caribbean is not just interested in just flopping on the beach and lying all day long. They really want to get into the community. They want to touch, taste, feel, and experience the community. So a lot of these communities are doing programs that are helping us to market Barbados in a better way and to differentiate ourselves from the rest of the Caribbean.
And as they move past or try to move past these lean budgets that you talked about, I think this initiative sits right in the middle to be able to let community practitioners, members of the third sector, people in general who just want our communities to be more visible and to do better, to be able to get to that place.
That is so true. And we had obviously a crisis over the last 3 years, and we won't mention what that is. But what I found is that there's a level of innovation that happened during that crisis. People were able to develop new businesses. The creativity that came out of that period is, to me, astonishing. And there's so many businesses that were created out of a need to do something different and to pivot. And so why not? Why not have these institutions actually apply for this grant to take them to the next level?
Let's talk a little bit about the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association as a not-for-profit trade organization and the level of work that the organization itself is doing behind the scenes to be able to bring programs like this to not only Barbados, but the region, because it's my understanding, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that initially it's open to Barbados, but they're moving to a place where it will be open to the region as well?
Yes, so the scholarship was launched this year at the Sea Trade, which they have every single year during around the April period. And every year they'll be announcing the scholarship being awarded to a different Caribbean destination. And that will be obviously around the Sea Trade era as well, when they actually have that global conference. And they bring all their cruise executives together, and a lot of the Caribbean islands actually do participate, and they'll be doing the announcement for next year's at that particular event. And so Barbados is the first recipient.
That is wonderful news. And we're told that the late Prime Minister also facilitated, it was said in the video that was shared, he facilitated conversations that helped them to be able to move that organization forward in terms of the work that he did. I know he did a lot of work with the Caribbean single market and single economy, and he was one of these leaders who really pushed for true Caribbean integration. So the fact that it's available to Barbadians but will be available to the region, I can just see his smug little smile right now as, we talk about what will be available.
Absolutely. And him not recognizing that the legacy that he would have left would have been so impactful that here we are today actually celebrating that very legacy by this scholarship. And what has actually happened is that Barbados has continued that relationship with the FCCA. In fact, our current Prime Minister, the Honourable Mayor Motley, also shares a very special relationship with the FCCA as well. So the legacy, I would say, dare say, continues.
And I remember if we look back at 2020, I don't remember if you recall, but I was driving over the hill by UE. You remember that call?
If I recall.
And I called you and I said, Marcia, this is such an amazing sight to see so many cruise ships off Barbados. It was heartening in one instance. It brought a certain reality home, but I would imagine that organizations like these don't forget countries like Barbados that help to facilitate their members or member organizations being able to kind of do well in challenging times.
Every time I think about that moment is a watershed moment for me. And I'll never forget the Aida Perla, on her last journey as she sat, in our waters for many months. And when she was actually leaving, she had a very beautiful lighting display where she lit up, goodbye, I'll see you again soon. And so it was very fitting when she returned in 2022, I believe, that we, celebrated the Aida Perla, with a huge celebration because it was actually so impactful to us. And that video went all over the world. It actually went global, and what Barbados did for the cruise lines as well, I think will impact the cruise industry for many, many years to come. And again, that's thanks to the government of Barbados and led by our Prime Minister.
Absolutely. So it's the FCCA, that stands for the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association, Owen Arthur Scholarship. And, if your organization or school is a registered charity, you must include those details in the application. So you've made it so simple. And it shows me that it truly is inclusive, because you've not only said, okay, get online and fill out this application. You've also said, if that is something that you can't handle at this time, come into the office.
Yes.
And we'll make that happen. And that says that it truly is inclusive, which is what the man for which it is named was all about.
That's right. And I also wanted to share that the application form may actually mention something like the IRA, which is obviously very American. And we just have to remember that this was actually developed by an American company. But please, I'm asking the audiences not to worry yourself about that. Just make sure that your company is registered, your institution is registered in any form or fashion, and that's good enough for all of us.
Absolutely. So all you need to do is to upload your contact information and name of the organization. And then, you can follow it. It's easy. You can reach out to Belle H at visitbarbados.org, and I'm sure she'll share all the details. She gave me so many details yesterday that I felt as though I knew more about
that you could apply.
I could talk about it. I probably apply myself.
Well, apply not for yourself, but for an institution.
Absolutely.
And not a governmental institution.
Yeah, this is truly a wonderful move for more than one reason. Yeah. And we mentioned at the surface that it really is about legacy.
Yes.
We can't deny that the legacy of the late former leader is inextricably linked to Barbados' legacy.
Absolutely.
As well. And then to have, foreign partners, because that's what we refer to them as, be so concerned about what's happening here that they reach back to assist.
Yes, be so concerned and wanting so much to be a part of the story of Barbados, I would say, and I think that's really important. And also very important to note is that the deadline is June 24th.
All right.
Yes.
June 24th is around the corner, people. It might sound like it's just... it's not down the road. So make sure that you get in there and apply for this. And I can see that there are a number of organizations that will reach out. It's not in one specific area.
No, it's not.
So it doesn't need to be education.
Doesn't just need to be community.
It could be a community program.
It could be developmental, and it could be youth oriented as well.
All right. So,
yes.
Lots for you to do. And I can't let Marsha leave without talking about this shirt.
I wore this just for you.
You knew I would do it.
I kind of had a feeling.
Listen, you guys are walking around really marketing Barbados in class. I love it.
Thank you so very much.
It says, we are the best of both worlds. Party over here, business over here.
You got the message. That's exactly what I was trying to convey. So you got it in one shot. Definitely.
A little bit of tradition.
Yes.
So I can absolutely see, the traditional Barbadian costumes as a part of it. But then, of course, you still have a structured corporate feel.
Yes.
And the colors of Barbados as well
are popping.
And I have Peter over here with his...
Peter
is... Listen, I can't even tell him to toss it. Look at what he's doing, look.
You have to raise it higher. Right, there you go.
Listen, this is what I have to deal with off camera. Peter is off the side showing that he is representing for Barbados. Okay, Peter, move it.
We have to make sure we get Peter another flag.
Yep.
Right? So he can have two rather than just one waving in the studio.
It's so ironic because he always has these flags in his back pockets. And I'm thinking, like, what are you doing, Peter? But absolutely worked out today. So make sure that you apply for this scholarship. The Florida Caribbean Cruise Association presenting the Owen Arthur Scholarship. Just go online and you can find out more at the BTMI's pages.
That's correct.
Great to see you. I'll see you on Saturday at cricket.
You and the entire Barbados. I don't know where we're going to put them, but if they can't be at cricket, I'm sure they'll be at one of the fun zones.
Absolutely. So
Yes.
thank you so much. Marsha Aline is the Chief Product Development Officer at the BTMI, doing wonderful work that we can see, and some of it that is a little more covert, but still bringing all of those numbers to the island. So best wishes to everybody over at the office here in Barbados, and certainly satellite offices around the world as well.
That is correct. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure in person. This feels like, home.
Good stuff.
Yes.
So, you're welcome anytime.
Thank you so very, very much. And thank you, Barbados.
Good stuff. Make sure you apply. Go on, find out a little bit more. And this could make the difference to lives, many, many lives across the island, if you're able to do those programs that you've been thinking about but didn't have the requisite funding to be able to get them done. It's time for a break here on Morning Barbados, but we have lots more coming up, so stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From 98.1 to CBC TV8 comes the Soca Avenue, the sweetest soca hour in radio. It's artists with new tunes and some old sweet ones too, jamming on the Soca Avenue. Saturdays, join AON Skills and the crew down on Soca Avenue. All new on CBC TV8. Feeling the festival.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
He was saying, Thornhill, we can sell out the stadium, It's my area you making sport. You can be half in here. Only then to turn up the Saturday morning at the stadium to do the broadcast. The funny stadium, as we were saying on the local parlance, burst. Overflowing to the point where then you had to get extra seating on the velodrome, the cycle track.
I always get excited when somebody comes through with a new book, and that's what's happening this morning. It's called A Taste of Home and Other Short Stories. That's what we're talking about today. On the next chapter, joining me on the couch, I have Suzanne Durant and Diane Weatherhead, and they're co-authors for this amazing little book. On the front, a man packing in Alaska for Barbados. He's wearing his Barbados shirt. So, the story is told by just the illustration on the front. Let me see what he has in this suitcase. Cheese, Bajan seasoning, tea time biscuits and hot sauce. Good morning, ladies. Welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us.
Great to have you back. Great to have you join us.
Thank you.
So tell me a little, Diane, about this book and how it came about to be able to kind of partner and make the book a reality.
Sure. A Taste of Home and Other Short Stories is exactly what it says, a taste of Barbados, and not just the food, but the feel, the culture, the Bajanisms. We wanted to write about Barbados, and in a funny way, they're experiences that many Bajans who are either traveling or living in America, that's the focus. And it's their experience while there. And the gentleman on the front cover, he was actually sent to Alaska by his boss on a project. and he wanted to taste the poem while he was there. Hence the packed suitcase, which I'm sure any Bajan traveling overseas has gone through that. Bring me this, bring me that. I need some flying fish. I need some guava cheese. So that's what we wanted to do, just put a bit of Barbados out there and the feel of it.
Suzanne, how did the collaboration come about to get the book out?
Well, most people know I'm already an author, and I had written a book called Where There's a Will short story collection. And I said I want to do another one. And then I said, you know what, I wouldn't mind collaborating with someone. And Diane, we've been friends for years. We went to school together. And I said, she's a talented writer. Let me bring her on board. And I broached her with the idea. And she said, you know what, let me do it, because I've always wanted to write. So I finally got her writing. And she dipped her toe in with this, because I wanted her to write her own novel. But I think she felt more comfortable entering this arena with short stories. And she did a wonderful job.
So you have to pick up right there, Diane, when Suzanne called you and said, listen, I want you to write. What were you thinking?
Well, Suzanne has been on my case for over a decade to write. Because I think her first one was in
2009.
Diane, write your book. Diane, write your book. You know, life gets in the way, or you're intimidated, whatever the reason. And she said, I read her book, Where There's a Will, those short stories, and they were so funny. I had a blast reading them. And when she said, let's do this, I was like, yeah, this is a good entry point. You know, short stories, you don't have to worry about the length and all of that. So I jumped right in there, and at the time I was in New Jersey, she was here, so we had lots of Zoom calls to pitch ideas to each other and to brainstorm and just get help from each other when you get stuck a little bit. So it was a very comfortable and enjoyable working relationship. It really went seamlessly. We did have our moments where we had a few hiccups, but it was and I'm really pleased that she asked me to join her in this venture.
There are lots of average Barbadians, just regular Barbadians, who are really keepers of the culture. So, you know, they're very concerned about how recipes are done, how stories are told, how you share about our beloved Barbados and even the Caribbean. So was there any added pressure when telling these stories to make sure that you were sharing authentic Barbadian experiences or authentic Barbadian stories?
Well, we pulled a lot of our experience from our personal experience. Diane lives in the U.S., so she was able to talk about a lot of things that she would have experienced. I myself, I was there for a couple of years, and the things like she said, packing for people from Barbados, bring me this, bring me that. Or even when you are leaving Barbados to go back to the U.S., you got to make sure you got your sweetbread, you got your marby, you got your guava cheese. So that personal experience of friends, even the terms that we use in the book, because we said we want this book to be full-on Bajan. So at the back of the book, there's a glossary for the non-Bajans who might not understand words like cat spraddle and so on. We have that provided for people. Cuckoo and flying fish, some people may not know, international visitors may not know. So yes, we wanted to put the dialect is there as well, and as well as the culture. We put the culture in there, and we put all the mannerisms of Bajans. There's one story in there, Bajan interrogation, where there's a typical Bajan granny. You know the type, Tisha. So who's this fellow you going out with? What his name? What his mother name? You know how they always tend to check behind you for your parents' name, your grandparents' name, where he live, how old he is, how much money he got in the bank. All of that is in there with this Bajan interrogation granny. So we try to make sure it was truly, authentically Bajan.
Of course, we never think that that's interrogation, but no, you call it by name. What did it do for you as a Barbadian living outside of the island to be able to kind of reflect on your childhood or your youth and the country generally in this way?
Well, I'm one of those cultural ambassadors. Wherever I've worked, they know I'm a Bajan. At one point, the girls in my office, I would go through different Bajan sayings with them and explain to them what they would mean, you know, things like that. And as a matter of fact, when I was leaving the country many years ago to go to the States to study, my grandfather, who to me I'd never heard him speak Bajan or listen to local music, but he wrote me what was the only thing he had ever written me, and said, keep your Bajan identity. And that's what I've done. My kids, even though born in America, they're very much Bajan. They love their Morbi. They love their Shafet when they come here. So it's a natural progression for me to write these stories because, like you said, I've lived them. They're part of who I am.
I think you have to denounce your citizenship if you don't like Morbi.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
I mean, that's a hallmark of a Bajan, you know. A nice cold glass of Morbi is maybe the first thing that will be on order.
Absolutely.
And depending on the household and the age of the people in the household, you might get Morbi from Bark.
Yes. Yes.
Or something like it. Let's talk a little bit now about the lead story, A Taste of Home, which is about a Bajan living in the U.S.
Correct. And that's Diane's story, so I'll give it
So
to Diane.
Diane, you after all of this, you came and you got the lead story. I'm loving it.
Suzanne picked it. Suzanne picked it. So the young man, he lived in the U.S., went to school there, got a job, and his boss, like I said, decided to send him to Alaska to lead a project, and he was excited about it, but lamenting the fact that he is going to miss good old Bajan cooking. And he was like, and he's going to miss that connection. And that's one of the things about living overseas. Some people may not realize that you want to adapt to the new culture and fit in, but you also want to maintain your culture. So it's a balancing act to some degree. And so he came home before he had to go to Alaska and was talking to his mother and, I'm going to miss this food, and I got to go down to Oystons and get some fish and go up to Miss Hines Bakery and get some turnovers and that kind of thing. And I wouldn't say what happens when he gets to Alaska, but all I'll say is wherever you go in this world, you will find a Bajan.
So he didn't have to worry about getting any turnovers, but she won't tell us, so we're going to have to read to find out.
Correct.
For you, Suzanne, though, I mean, you are a busy writer. So what's your process? Is it every day, all day? Do you take breaks in between? How do you come up with your themes? Things like that.
My head is always bubbling with ideas for books.
I love that. Her head is always bubbling with...
Always. I don't think I can write or type fast enough to let them out. So I allow these stories to play out in my head. And usually these stories are finished in my head, but not finished on paper. That's my issue. That's the problem. But yeah, I do, find my way around work, or if I have some time in between work, because I teach. So I have a little time in between there, try to do some writing. But it can be a difficult juggle sometimes. But yes, it does keep me very busy. Too many ideas, not enough time.
All right, so take me back to the very first one. You said 2009, but I have 2010, so somebody's
Sorry.
wrong, and I don't think it's me.
I think Amazon has 2010. I actually finished it in 2009, so that's why I keep
So that's when it
remembering
was
2009.
published.
2010 was when it was
Okay,
published.
so
yeah.
2010, that one is called Her Own Daughter, Dark Energy 2014, Perfect Nightmare 2016, two short story collection, Where There's a Will and Other Short Stories 2022, A Taste of Home and Other Short Stories now for 2024, and then Ladies, Let's Get Real About You, Life and Love for 2022 as well. So you have been incredibly
very busy. You don't want to see my desk at home either. It's madness.
Is this something that has always been so near and dear to you?
Always. When I was growing up, I was reading Nancy Drew. The last time I was here with you.
Not Nancy Drew.
Yeah, I used to read Nancy Drew.
She's aging herself, people. Enid Blyton, I think.
Exactly. And I told you that I read Roots and so on, and Mandela's book. But when I was young, I was reading from very early. And I remember telling my mother, listen, I want to be an author. I hadn't even finished school yet. I want to be an author. She said, no, dear, you make sure you try to get a job so you can get some stable income, and you can do that on the side. But I saw these people living off of writing. I said, I can do it here. She said, no, not quite, but it's been in my blood for years.
You also do a bit of ghostwriting.
Yes, I write memoirs for people. I find Bajans are now getting into the memoir writing, which I'm very, very pleased about. But again, I want to always tell people, if you want some help, I'm here. So come see me, come contact me, and let me help you, or even give you some guidance with your memoir writing. But I love it.
Oh, that's absolutely beautiful.
Love it.
Beautiful. So, kind of dialing back to what we originally talked about. You know, what do the children say about you sharing about Barbados in this way?
They're very much into it. My daughter actually, if you looked at some of her social media, you would think she is born and bred Bajan, because she really represents. When she was in college, any activities they would be having, she would make sure she took her Mavi as part of the foods for the evening or whatever. She has her flag, and they love it here. You know, I remember years ago I gave them the option to let's go to Disney or go to Barbados, and they chose Barbados.
That says a great deal.
Yes.
That says a great deal. In terms of the book now, where can we grab it? Where can we get our copies?
Okay, the book is available from Amazon, the ebook, $4.99 US, and the paperback book also from Amazon for $9.99. There are some copies also here available here directly from me at the moment, and I'm working on having some available at the Barbados Museum.
Oh, that's beautiful. I've been trying to look into this valise.
Valise is right.
And see, so this is because he does not have as many clothes in this case as he has. Mobby is on the bed. There's more pepper sauce on the bed. What else is in that corner? More seasoning. Ovaltine.
Biscuits. Ovaltine biscuits. Ovaltine biscuits.
I saw the tea times. He has Mobby in the bag already. Listen to me. This is amazing. Even just looking at the illustration. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the other people who worked along with these ladies to make this possible. Stay with us.
You know, he was saying, Thornhill, we can sell out the stadium, you know. That's my area you making sport. You can be half in here. Only then to turn up the Saturday morning at the stadium to do the broadcast. The funny stadium, as we were saying on the local parlance, burst. Overflowing to the point where then you had to get extra seating on the velodrome, the cycle track.
Golden Glory, celebrating our senior games, Tuesday at 8:03 p.m. on air and online.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
Welcome back. This is the next chapter. Of course, we're sharing a taste of home and other short stories. And we have two beautiful ladies sharing with us today who've been lifelong friends, Diane Weatherhead and Suzanne Durant, collaborated on presenting this wonderful book. Now, I understand that you collaborated with a very talented graphic artist to be able to get this illustration done. And it's an understatement to say that this sells the book. Even without knowing what the story is about, it tells you everything you need to know.
Yes. Eden Weeks, if it's okay to call her name, she created this. She spoke to myself and Diane, and we told her exactly what we wanted, and she is so good because she actually did the cover for my Where There's a Will as well. And after doing a fantastic job with that, I said I need Eden for this because she represents, she pulls out the Bajan so well. And like you keep talking about the items in the valise, you know, she shows you the sweet bread and the tea times and the pepper sauce. So I said I have to get Eden back on this again. So she really did a great job.
What was the conversation like with Eden? Because I can't imagine that you were able to kind of summarize this. First of all, is she Bajan?
Yes. She is.
Okay, so
Had
that's
to
half
be.
the battle.
Yes. Had to be. Mhm.
I can't imagine that, and I heard that had to be. I can't imagine that this was a one conversation. So what was that like to be able to get this particular thing right?
The initial, we went through a few proofs, to be honest, because we had an idea of what we wanted. We let her read a few of the stories to get a flavor of the book, and we had to tweak it along the way. You know, I had seen the cover of Where There's a Will, and I told Suzanne, we need to get Eden to do this. Because the colors, you know, just the way she presents it, everything is just so perfect. And when she presented, I think this was maybe the third proof she sent, and I was like, this is it.
Is there a favorite story from this particular collection? And I've asked an author about that before, and he said, it's like picking a favorite child.
Oh boy.
You know, they all hit you in different ways, but you know, is there any one story that you're like, this one hits home?
Yes, I will feel that. I love, it's one of Suzanne's. It's called The Scent of Apartment 4D. Love the story. I'm not going to say too much about it. I'll just say it is funny, you know, and you get that at the end, that yearning for a taste of Barbados again. Even though it's a different story, there's a theme running through many of them about the food and the flavor and the taste of Barbados. And I need this. I need some, you know, sweet bread. I need some. And there's a wonderful twist to it. And I just love that story.
That's beautiful. What about you?
For me, I have a couple of them. Tea Times is a personal favorite. It's about a young lady who gets a proposal under an unusual situation from her boyfriend. And A Weighty Case is really a good one. It talks about that situation where somebody wants somebody to take something home to Barbados, and she turns up at the lady's house with just more than one thing.
It sounds to me like once people start reading these stories, the two of you are going to have a lot of explaining to do.
I guess so. It's personal experience and experiences of others, so we're just sharing.
I love that. Talk to me about what developed your love for reading, because we have this story over here with Mom saying, well, make sure you get your education behind it. But what developed your love for reading?
Like Suzanne, the Enid Blytons, you know, we always had those in the house. We would go to the library on Saturdays and pick out our books and read them. And I always had a love of writing as well, more so than reading, to be honest with you. So in maybe second form at Foundation, I remember vividly my English teacher, Mrs. Nurse, she gave us an assignment to pretend to be a reporter and go and interview someone and write this story. And I loved it. And I went on and I got my degree in broadcast journalism, you know, so that's how I ended up in this sphere.
All right, so she really just started it. And what made you keep pressing her through the years to write? Was it because of the background in broadcast journalism, or the study of broadcast journalism, or just the fact that you knew this was something that was within her?
I knew Diane could write. I knew it, so I had to harass her.
Yes. That is the
word,
harass.
Do something, until, of course, she said, okay, after years, she said, okay, I'll work on you with this particular project. Yeah. But Diane, she's talented, she's expressive. I like her the metaphorical use of language. She's really good at it. And I don't think she knows how good she is at it.
Boy.
So she needs now to get to her novel, which she's working on, and I'm looking forward to that.
What was the process of selecting the stories? Did all the stories make the cut, is the question.
The process was, like I said, we would connect on Zoom and we would brainstorm. On occasion, for instance, Suzanne would call me. She'd driving, and like she said, it's always churning. She'd call me, I'm here driving, and this story in my head, and I want to write it, but I can't finish it up. I don't know how to tie it up. So I thought about it, and I gave her some suggestions, and then she says to me, well, you go ahead and write the story. So I ended up writing the story.
So you're delegating. I can't fault you for that.
If I'm struggling with the story and she comes and tells me what to do, hey, she may as well write it.
Well, that's true collaboration.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
So from idea to where we have it as a physical book available, how long was that process? And was it difficult to kind of get everything to this finished stage? I know you had a little bit of experience getting there with the previous books and so on, but for people who might be thinking, you know, this is something that might be an option.
Right. It took us about approximately a year and a little, about a year and a little. And a collaboration is much different from individual, because as an individual, you're free to do what you want and move how you want. But with a collaboration, you do have to think about the other person or persons that you're working with. You have to have the time to make the meetings and so on. And it's just more work, so you have to be prepared to work with someone else when you're collaborating.
What does this do to your mind? What does this do for the stories that you've been sharing with your children and other people about your home through the years?
It puts it on the page for them, because I talk to my kids all the time about growing up and in Barbados, and the experiences are real, they're authentic. I mean, we may have put some in a fictional setting, you know, I mean, they're characters we've created, but the experiences are very genuine. And I'm telling you, even folks outside of Barbados in the other islands will be able to relate to this, and some have told me that. Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. You know, talking to a Jamaican friend of mine, same thing, you got to go down there with all this food, and non-Caribbean people have told me they can relate. My manager, American, she read the stories, and there are a couple of them, she didn't relate necessarily on a cultural level, but the scenario itself, she said she could relate to. One was about dealing with technology. There's one called Take Me Home, a play on technology, and Arbajan, Take Me Home. And she said she could relate to that experience, you know. So it's not just for Barbadians, it's not just for the Caribbean folks, it's for anyone. And they will get a taste of life in Barbados, but they can also relate to the bigger picture, and some of the stories and the lessons even that are contained in the stories.
All right, that's beautiful stuff. I want to congratulate you ladies for this book. The illustration is really just the icing on the cake. You know, to be able to bring it home in this way makes all the difference to just even picking up the book. And I think this would make a good addition to the suitcase stuffing.
Absolutely.
True, that's true.
I most certainly will get it for my nephews. I think that they will thoroughly enjoy it. Like you mentioned, you know, every time there's something at the church or there's a day to celebrate your heritage, they're always looking for Barbadian things to share. So this is one of these things that really can be shared across borders, that brings a little feel of home to your hands.
Yes, it does.
Yes? All right, so it's available online.
It's available online, and it's available directly from me. Our Gmail address, if anyone wants to contact me, is DIANDSUZ, that's Diansuz @gmail.com.
Yeah, so make sure you check it out. We definitely have to put this cover up again, because I'm still here trying to see what else. You know, with the cell phones now, you can kind of zoom in. So that's kind of like the downside, where I'm like, okay, if I could zoom in, I'd be able to see some more. Oh, there we have it. They're doing it for me. And not the sweet and dandy. Good morning to all the Bajan brands, because there truly are Bajan brands as well. Thank you, ladies, for coming in and sharing with us. Suzanne Durant, Diane Weatherhead, sharing about their new book, Together. It's a collaborative effort, A Taste of Home, and other short, missing a word, Bajan stories. All right, all the best, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, time for another break. Stay with us.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Do you look like your dad? Do people often say, use the spitting image of your father? That likeness could make your dad a winner in our CBC Mini-Me Father's Day contest. From June 1st to 6th, submit a photo of your dad and his lookalike son or daughter to marketing@cbc.bb or via WhatsApp to 467-5465. Then rally your family and friends to vote on CBC Barbados on Facebook and CBC Barbados 246 on Instagram from June 8th to 10th. The photo with the most votes wins a staycation at the luxurious Sunday Hotel. Gift vouchers compliments world-class cuts, and a photo shoot compliments 8216 Logistics. What are you waiting for? Get those photos with Dad in now.
The ultimate cricket showdown is coming to ESPN, and MCTV has got you covered. The ICC Cricket World Cup 2024 is here on ESPN and MCTV. Tune into MCTV channels 302 and 308 and don't miss a single six, wicket or heart-pounding moment as top teams vie for the 2024 T20 World Cup. From June 1st to 29th, it's cricket you can't afford to miss. Tune into ESPN on MCTV, and for live radio coverage, tune into 94.7. Catch every moment of the ICC Cricket World Cup T20 action.
We enjoy a game with Domino's and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
2 minutes after 7 o'clock, we start with some disturbing news. 2 men were gunned down minutes apart in separate incidents last night. The first occurred at 9:50 p.m. at 4th Avenue, Harts Gap, St. Michael. Police, on responding to the shooting, encountered a motionless body. That has since been identified as 32-year-old Chad Rowett of Prout in St. Thomas. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The other deadly shooting occurred at 2 minutes to 10 at Free Hill in Blackrock, St. Michael. Police responded and on investigation learned that one man was injured and transported to the hospital. He, however, was later pronounced dead. The deceased has been identified as 30-year-old Raheem Brathwaite of Melvins Avenue, Blackrock, St. Michael. As police investigations continue into these two killings, the Barbados Police Service is appealing to anyone with information to contact police emergency at 211 or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-8477 or the nearest police station. Member of Parliament for the City, Corey Lane, is pleased with the major efforts to prepare Bridgetown and its environs for the ICC Men's T20 Cricket World Cup. He also applauded the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. for employing city residents to clean up areas surrounding the Oval.
The place looks really nice, and my plan is really to help maintain it. So we keep it looking good for World Cup and beyond. A number of actual activities happening in terms of the remodeling of Baxter's Road and a number of places. For me, I am about the legacy of World Cup, if not just World Cup itself. So we continue to keep the city on the move. We're going to see a new Bridgetown city over the years start to evolve. You start to see we do a number of projects, the Pier Head, Baxter's Road, Nelson Street, Constitution River. Remember that was a wharf. Remember we used to avoid there. Now it's a waterfront, if you please.
Guided off-road tours are getting the attention of cricket fans in Barbados for the ICC T20 Cricket World Cup. Managing Director of Off-Road Fury Barbados, Christopher Curtin, says bookings are being received from around the world. He says the off-road go-kart experience is on the bucket list for many people.
With the World Cup cricket, persons coming in to do World Cup and they're booking this off-roading experience as well too, right?
So I must say, as I said, bookings are coming in from all over. We're seeing bookings for the weekends, all during the week as well. I guess persons are coming and doing some activities before they go to the cricket games and so on, and after the cricket games, and it's going pretty good. So I'm liking what I'm seeing with the bookings here so far are offered for Barbados for this World Cup cricket period here for the month of June.
Mr. Curtin says the tours include miles of trails across the Barbados countryside, and bookings for summer are also up.
We're also seeing lots of bookings coming in for the summer period. So the crossover period is looking pretty good. Summer period is looking pretty good as well too. We do get a lot of bookings from the US in particular when it comes to crossover and the Caribbean islands as well too, especially Trinidad, Jamaica as well too. And if you stretch it further down into the winter period, it's looking good as well too, looking promising. We're getting lots of inquiries as well, taking us all down into October, November and December for the winter period. So we're going to see how that goes for the off-roading period here in Barbados.
Barbados has been elected to chair the World Health Organization's WHO's executive board. Ambassador and permanent representative of Barbados to the United Nations, the World Trade Organization, and other international organizations in Geneva, Matthew Wilson, chaired on Barbados' behalf on Monday, June 3rd, at the opening of the WHO's Executive Board 155th session in Geneva. Upcoming WHO Executive Board sessions will be chaired by Minister of Health and Wellness, Senator Dr. the Most Honorable Jerome Walcott, including the one scheduled for January 2025. The Executive Board is one of the highest governing bodies in the WHO and gives effect to the decisions coming out of the World Health Assembly. Global Affairs Canada has invested 10 million Canadian dollars into a new climate-resilient agricultural project. The 4-year project, spearheaded by the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization, or the FAO, is set to reduce CARICOM's food import bill by 2025. Countries set to benefit are Belize, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, Jamaica, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Suriname under the project titled Gender Responsive Climate Smart Agriculture on Food Systems in the Caribbean. Barbados does not qualify for funding under this project, but FAO's sub-regional coordinator for the Caribbean, Dr. Renata Clark, says data gathering will benefit the entire region.
A lot of the work we're doing is on piloting innovation and collecting information on feasibility, developing business cases. Vermaran already flagged the number of partners we're working with to be leveraging financing. And once we do that well, all countries are going to benefit, even the ones that are not directly financed in this project.
FAO's Disaster Risk Management and Climate Change Adaptation Specialist Roberto Sandoval says the time has come for farmers to shift from traditional farming practices to technologically advanced climate-resilient farming.
We know that some farmers are going to be early adopters. Some of them are going to be laggers. And this has been the case 50 years ago, even before I was born. But up to now, it's still the case. But we see now that there are different tools and technologies that could accelerate the adoption of farmers. And we also see the very big role of youth farmers, for example, as we know that they're more open to this kinds of, to the newer technologies, and they have a role, for example, in convincing farming households, older members of the family or the communities to adopt certain technologies.
Barbadians and other business people from across the Caribbean region are being used to attend the 3rd Africa-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum on the Horizon Conference. The plea from Acting Chief Operating Officer of Afrexim Bank, who says there needs to be more buy-in from the people in Barbados and the wider region. He was speaking during an interview with CBC News.
What we are now bringing is those policy and decision makers from those countries, those business institutions and entities, we're bringing them all in the same venue to get people from the region to have access to them. So it's a once in a long time opportunity. I don't want to say lifetime, I say a long time, because it's going to take time for us to be able to have that assemblage of the critical players within the region.
Now, the doctor who has been stationed in Barbados over the last 10 months says already they have chartered flights from Cairo, Addis Ababa, and Lagos, Nigeria, with over 2,200 people registered to attend the conference, which is being held in the Bahamas from June 12th to 14th. He says Africans are looking for ways to return home to the Caribbean and invest, but that cannot happen if there's no one for business to interact with.
We need also the Caribbean. We need Barbados also to be present. We need people to tell others what they can do and what they are doing. Okay, what products they have on offer. Africa brings with it over 1.2 billion people market. So that's massive. If you're a small scale producer in Barbados and you have access to that huge size of market, I mean, you can go to the bank and rest. So that's basically the value proposition is enormous. So we need to key into it and take advantage of it.
And of course, back to cricket. West Indies tour of England started July 24th at Lord's, which presents a fresh challenge for the regional side this summer. The two teams will battle in 3 tests for the Richards Botham Trophy. CBC's Damien Best reports.
The 3-match series between West Indies and England starting in July as part of the ICC World Test Championship 2023-25 fixtures. At the moment, West Indies are in 6th position in the 9-team table on 16 points, having played 4 matches, registering 1 win, 1 draw and 2 defeats. England, on the other hand, are surprisingly dead last in the table, losing 6 of their 10 fixtures, the latest a 4-1 defeat to host India. The major issue
That's today's news. Do tune in for Newsday at 12 noon here on TV8 or The World at 1 on our radio network of stations. Morning Barbados continues after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Calling all Soccerholics! The highly anticipated soccer pop-up party of the season is back! Follow us to a different location every Friday night from 8 p.m. from May 10th to June 14th for the Barbados Lottery White Oak Rum 98.1 The One Soccer Stop Pop-Up Party. We bring you the music and giveaways, and you bring the vibes and the action.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
From 98.1 to CBC TV8 comes the Soca Avenue, the sweetest soca hour in radio. It's artists with new tunes and some old sweet ones too, jamming on the Soca Avenue. Saturdays, join AON Skills and the crew down on Soca Avenue, all new on CBC TV8. Feeling the festival.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
You know, he was saying, Thornhill, we can sell out the stadium, you know. That's my area you making sport. You can be half in here. Only then to turn up the Saturday morning at the stadium to do the broadcast. The funny stadium, as we were saying on the local parlance, burst. Overflowing to the point where then you had to get extra seating on the velodrome, the cycle track.
Golden Glory, celebrating our senior games, Tuesday at 8:03 p.m. on air and online.
My friend, you don't plan to get it. Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So a few weeks ago, we told you all about the National Youth Awards, and we're pleased to announce information about some of the winners, featuring, first of all, the winner of the Calabash Award for 2024. We're joining Larissa Small in her home. Good morning to you, Larissa.
Good morning. Good morning, Barbados.
And congratulations, first of all.
Thank you so much.
All right, before we get into all who you are and what you do, tell me what you know of this particular award. How did you hear about it? Who nominated you? And what were your thoughts generally on the award ceremony?
Well, I actually saw it on Instagram and I was interested about it. Daryl Thornhill told me about it, but I was inspired to sign up.
All right. So, to your mind, based on looking at it, the information surrounding the award, who did you think would be an awardee for this particular category?
Pardon?
Who was the type of person, based on what they were doing, that would be an awardee for this particular category? I don't think
Can you repeat?
I don't think she's
Can
hearing
you?
me very well, or it's maybe some technical difficulties. So tell me about when you read about the award ceremony, or when you read about the awards. What made you go after this particular category, the Calabash Award?
Well, I am an artist, so the Calabash Award was dedicated towards artists. And recently, finishing my bachelor's at BPC, I was inspired to sign up for it.
All right. So tell me a little bit about the work you do. When did you start to see your love for art in this way that you decided to pursue it?
Well, as a child, I was always inspired by the comic strips in the newspapers. I would always rush to go and draw them in my sketchbook. And the characters also reminded me about real life, and they referenced that.
All right. Tell me about the type of art that you've done throughout the years. When did it start? You said that you liked comic books early on, but when did you start doing art that other people took notice of?
Well, I would say as early as I was in secondary school, I am really attracted to portraits, and I really like portraits. And my work from there started looking into people in their daily lives, and I was really inspired about the way people interact with each other, how they talk, and how they dress, and how they gather in a space.
Tell me about some of the art that you've done through the years that stays with you, the more interesting pieces.
Well, I would say the most interesting pieces, are the ones that reflect people in their daily lives. So I tend to do work around that.
All right, and talk about school life now. How's it going as you continue to pursue your dreams in that particular area?
Well, I have recently finished school now, but school really taught me in terms of like the interests or topics that I have to help me execute them, and even use different materials that I didn't even thought about using initially.
What types of materials are those?
Like sometimes I use found objects for like different mark making. So sometimes I will go about like picking leaves or like using bottle covers, things around that nature.
Okay, so mixed materials. What are your plans now that you're finished this part of your studying?
Well, my plans are to produce more work for sure and find new ways of inspiration.
And for the future, is this a career path that you hope to go down?
Yes, please.
In what specific area?
In visual arts, fine arts,
And
paintings and drawings and such.
all right, do you have any plans to continue your studies post this?
Yes, please. In probably possible near future, I would like to do my master's.
All right, good stuff. Talk to me about how you felt when you got the call that you had indeed won this award.
Well, I was so shocked. Actually, I was not expecting it, but I'm really grateful and thankful that I won the award. I think it helped me believe in myself more.
All right, what are the parents, the friends, what's everybody saying about the fact that you were able to take this award for your work?
Well, they were really excited for me, and they also like motivated me as well. So congratulations.
All right, good stuff. I want to congratulate you as well for this major win. I hope that you attended the award ceremony, did you?
Yes, please.
Yeah, and what was the night like, the entire night, to see so many young people being rewarded and awarded?
It was actually really wonderful, and seeing everybody come together and like supporting each other is really amazing.
Initially, when you started with art, did you think that you would move on and study it and pursue a career in art?
Well, sometimes it was like kind of surprised about like the journey and such. But I got like motivation from like, my tutors from in secondary school to make me really push me and do the associate and then do my bachelor's at the BCC College.
All right, beautiful stuff. So, what advice would you give to someone maybe younger than you who is good at art but is not too sure about what to do next?
Well, I would say that challenges can present themselves. Oftentimes, you don't get the push or like the recognition that you need to do work. And art is often looked as a hobby and not something that you can do as a job, but it is. I would say believing in yourself and consistency. Consistency is the key.
All right, so I understand that you have worked on a mural around the island as well.
Yes, please.
Talk to us about the experience on working on that particular mural.
Well, I also did a mural with Sherry Ann Nichols and also Evan McDonald. I would say it was a fun experience. I was a bit nervous and scared because of heights, but I got over that fear.
All right, so now every time you drive by that mural, what are you thinking?
I'm honestly like amazed that I was like a part of the experience. And every time I passed it, I was like, I'm a part of that.
Are there any upcoming projects or exhibitions that you're looking forward to that you might be a part of?
Yes, I am really looking forward to the crop over exhibition and also continue my series, my virtual series.
All right, and that's online, so you do a virtual series online?
No, please, is monoprints that I did based on the same kind of inspiration for people in their daily life.
All right, so mono prints, talk to me about the process of getting those prints together.
Well, I would say the process is different from doing joints with the monoprint. I have to be doing the opposite, and I'd be taking a really late. I would say it kind of is a challenging process, and I have to wait on the end result to see if the image comes out properly.
All right,
But I
good.
enjoy it.
Good stuff. So we look forward to that, seeing more of that mural. And now when you drive past it in Whole Town, you'll be able to say, I saw the young lady who played a role in putting this mural together on Morning Barbados. What do you hope people take away from your art when they look at it? As I encourage people to engage in looking at your art, even your pieces, as they drive through the Whole Town area. What do you hope people take away?
Well, I hope people reflect on the past and like where we are now, and really spark out different compositions that can come up.
All right. Again, congratulations on your wonderful win as a part of the Barbados Youth Awards 2024. I know that you must be incredibly proud about it and your teachers and everyone around you. So we have here the winner of the Calabash Award at the National Youth Awards 2024 artist, Larissa Small, and you can check her out at art._small on Instagram. Thank you for sharing with us, and I wish you all the best. And I look forward to seeing lots more from your desk.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right, so as we continue to celebrate young people, as we love to do here on Morning Barbados, listen out for that name, Larissa Small, and I'm sure you're going to hear a whole lot more about her and the work that she's doing. Time for another break on Morning Barbados, but stay with us. We'll be right back.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Do you look like your dad? Do people often say, use the spitting image of your father? That likeness could make your dad a winner in our CBC Mini-Me Father's Day contest. From June 1st to 6th, submit a photo of your dad and his lookalike son or daughter to marketing@cbc.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
29 minutes to 8 o'clock on the clock here in the studio. I know that's where the clock is at your homes as well. Make sure you get out and enjoy everything that's happening. It's very, very busy here in Barbados already. And speaking of busy, now 3 Barbadian students participated in the UNDP's campaign to boost awareness on the impacts of climate change and to mobilize people around the world to take meaningful climate action for future generations. We want to share that with you and celebrate with them. Professionals and professional students who joined me on the set this morning. We have Noah Nichols, Claire DeCorbinaire, and Reese Hoyt, and they're a part of the Weather Kids campaign as a part of the UNDP's efforts to boost awareness on the impacts of climate change and, of course, to mobilize people from around the world to take meaningful action where climate change is concerned. So good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
It's good to have all of you with us. Now, I'm going to start with you, Claire. Tell me how you feel about being a part of the UNDP Weather Kids campaign.
I feel very proud that I'm in it because this is also a big opportunity for me to be in a campaign. I've never been in a campaign before, so this is a pretty good experience for me to have done.
What about you, Reese? Tell me.
I'm proud of myself because I've never been on TV before.
So it's good to be on TV, and then of course you get to see yourself talking about something very, very important. So that makes all the difference. And for you, Noah, how do you feel about being a part of the campaign?
I feel very excited. I feel good about being part of this campaign because I've never been part of a campaign before, and it feels good to talk about very serious stuff that could impact and help people around the world.
Now, Noah, this is just up your alley because I'm told that you're an aspiring marine biologist and gamer.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, the gamer first, the marine biologist after?
Yes.
Yeah, so they got one of them, yeah, but you know, they all go together. So with that said, I know that there's a campaign that features Claire and Reese, and that is going to be airing on CBC TV8 pretty soon. We saw some of it yesterday. We aired it here on Morning Barbados, and I'm sure that your schoolmates have seen it. So Reese, what has been the reaction from your schoolmates in seeing you on television or hearing that you're a part of this?
I never told them yet, and I don't think they've seen it yet.
You've not told them yet?
Same.
Not from you either, Noah?
No, just from the teachers.
Oh, the teachers have seen it?
And the staff. Nobody saw mine.
So just some of the older people. What have they said to you?
They said congratulations and that they're very proud and they liked it very much. They think
that you did a good job.
Yeah.
You absolutely did. What about you, Claire?
I didn't really show it to a lot of people, but I did show it to some people. They said a lot of good things about it. I feel like I did a good job myself. So it's not much of. I just feel confident about it, if I'm going to be honest.
Okay, that's beautiful stuff. Now, talking about climate change is a major thing, and usually we see people who are very into the environment and climate change and stuff like that participating in campaigns like this. So before this campaign, Reese, were you very interested in what's happening in the environment?
I never knew that this was going to happen. I thought everything was going fine, and I didn't know that all of us were littering too much and all sorts of things like that.
But now you know. Too much litter. So for you though, Claire, being a part of the campaign, as I asked Reese, was that something that you thought about a lot before you really started being a part of this?
Yes, I actually, by the time I knew what littering was, I absolutely despised it because we're kind of destroying the world each and every time we litter. So the campaign was actually pretty important to me because it tells people not to litter, not to keep destroying our environment.
Yeah. Did you learn anything new, Noah, being a part of this campaign?
I learned that there's going to be a lot of heat waves from all the pollution in the atmosphere that's going to just throw everything off because people keep littering. By the time that I was 7 and I saw so much just trash and litter on the beach or anywhere really, I would pick it up, throw it in the trash, and then pick some more up if there was a bigger amount.
Wow, and that's important. The most important thing is for people to know. So I would imagine that you're sharing with some of the other students at school, even though they've not seen you yet, Reese, I'm sure that you're going to share with them because now your mind is kind of open to the fact that people should not do certain things because they're going to make our environment very dirty and they're going to help to destroy it. So for you, Reese, tell me about some of the things that you notice that people might be doing here in Barbados that might be contributing to climate change and making things bad for us.
So they're littering and making the beach and making heat waves and all sorts of things like that. And when that happens, we might not be, and then the heat waves come, then we cannot go outside or go to the beach or go outside.
Just enjoy our environment because Barbados is a very beautiful place, but it won't stay this way if we don't take care of it. Yes. And we really have to take care of it. Claire, you are at secondary school. Yes. Reese and Noah are at primary school. Do you learn a lot about this stuff at school?
I'm still in the journey of learning about climate change at school, but primary school wise, I was learning a lot about it, and I know what it is. I know how climate change affects, especially our island Barbados. So we really need to take care of our environment. But yes, I'm still in the journey and process of learning climate change in secondary school.
Absolutely, that's a perfect answer because we will all continue to learn as we go along because we really don't know how we will affect our environment if we don't continue to take care of it. Now, Noah, looking toward this gaming and marine biology, are there any scientists or meteorologists or environmentalists that you look up to?
So to answer that question, an environmentalist that I look up to very much would be Coyote Peterson for being a very good wildlife and he's very good in interacting with his environment, and he's a good environmentalist to me because he tells you what not to do and what animals or insects and stuff can be dangerous towards you. Also, I like the sting reaction stuff.
All right, well, that's important. And I think what we have to do is to kind of tailor things to suit some younger people. Because sometimes, stuff like what I'm doing now can seem pretty boring. You're looking on, you're like, they're talking. But all of a sudden, here you are. So we're now all in the same boat. We now have the same profession. I can't even present weather. So for you, Reese, how difficult or how easy was it for you to kind of put on your big boy outfit and and head out there and get in front of the cameras and do the weather report?
At first, I didn't know how to control the green screen. My mom took me in the girls' bathroom to change.
Your mom took you in the girls' bath. How did that come into presenting at all, Reese? I would imagine that's something that just stayed with you. Maybe that was the only one that was available?
That's how I got that outfit. My mom brought it and I changed. Simple.
I'm trying to defend Mom, but it's not working, Mom. It's not working out for you. What about you, Claire? What was it like kind of putting on your outfit and getting in front of the cameras?
It was actually a very good experience for me because I plan to grow up to be an actress. I've been in front of some cameras before, but I've never been behind green screen, so it was a really good experience for that. It was like an actual studio. So, and I've always wanted to be in like one of those. So it was a really good experience for me. I like to put on my formal clothes because I don't get to do that often. Okay. But yeah, I just felt really mature doing it. And looking at the teleprompter was a big deal because I would mess up some of my words sometimes, but it was a good experience.
I was looking up at your dad out of the corner of my eye when you said, I felt really mature doing it. And Dad was like, what? But that happens sometimes with parents. I mean, when you're so confident in what you do. Tell me what your experience was like, Noah, getting all dressed up and getting in front of the screen and recording this.
It was a great experience because I don't get to wear suits that often and I love suits. But also it's a very great experience because I liked the studio and how much technology there would have been, because if that other stuff doesn't work out, then I plan to be an IT teacher for coding and robotics and that stuff. So seeing all that technology and all the stuff with the green screen, it made me feel a bit calm, you know?
Yeah, so you were at home with doing this work. Yeah. You certainly looked calm on screen. All three of you did a fantastic job. And, you know, I'm getting a little nervous because soon I won't have anything to do but retire and go on home. Because, I mean, look at the future of presenting right here. Now, I know it is sports time. And Reese told me he's not a sportsman. He said, I'm not a into school sportsman, so I'm going to get back to you on that. But I want to hear from you, you know, what are some of the things you think children your age can do to take care of our environment? Or what would you say would be the number one thing they should at least start by doing to help take care of our environment?
Stop using cars so often because of the mufflers and making the, you know, the atmosphere bad and making everything hot and getting the coral reefs and all sorts of things.
Oh, a lot of stuff. What about you, Noah? What's one thing you think, or what are some of the things people your age can do? Because sometimes when we think about what adults can do, maybe they have more leeway, they could do more, but what can people your age do to help save our environment?
Get reusable water bottles, and if you get a plastic bottle, reduce using them, reuse them, and recycle them. I forgot that part, honestly.
You didn't, because you just told us. What about you, Claire?
I feel like we said, burning is a big part of it because there's like a lot of smoke in the atmosphere. And I'm pretty certain that Barbados wouldn't be so hot if there was all this climate change that we're creating. If there wasn't so much burning, then there wouldn't be such a heat wave in our ecosystem. So yeah. I feel like burning, like even something as simple as burning a lot of oil, like burning oil in your house is fine if you're cooking and that sort of stuff. But I mean, blowing oil like for other things that are not necessary, like bonfires, it could be done annually, but I feel like we should just conserve that, if that's the right word.
Be more mindful about what we do. You wanted to say something, Noah?
Yes, speaking of fires, yesterday there was a huge fire of smoke that was starting to come over to my school. that was a bit far away, but we could still see a bit of the ash and we could still smell the smoke, and that was really bad for like the asthmatic people, because there's a lot of asthmatic people in my class and there's a lot in the school, and I felt that it was really bad for them, because if it was something not needed or just something in general that you shouldn't do a lot, then it's just not really needed. So I felt really bad for all those asthmatic people.
And that's a really great way to end our interview, because you started by saying that you saw this smoke and it seemed like it was so far away, but you could still smell it. And that's what kind of happens with our environment. We all share it. So even though it feels like, oh, this is far away, this might be happening in another country, it is still impacting us here, because we all share the same environment and we have to take care of it. Yes, Claire?
Like, especially since the ash situation in 2021, I think. Like, even though it was in a different country, it wasn't specifically because of climate change, but we could have protected our island a little bit more if we were not so used to burning stuff, because the ash just came over to Barbados super quickly. Even though it was in a completely different country to ours,
Exactly.
it went all over the place.
Absolutely. I want to congratulate the three of you. You're doing a wonderful job at sharing information about how people your age can be better to our environment. In my day, there used to be lots of public service announcements about littering and stuff like that, and I think we really should bring them back so people understand how they're damaging our environment. Now, children across the world are acting as traditional meteorologists, showing us how the extreme weather will impact their everyday lives when they are grown-ups, and even now. So the campaign is intended to encourage people to take climate action, and the 2050 weather forecast is based on climate projections and data from UNDP, WMO, and the IPCC. Thank you, Noah. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Reese, for coming in and sharing. St. Cyprian's, Blackman Gollop, and of course, Cormier up front with everything at sports this morning. Yeah? Good stuff. All right. Wonderful to speak with all three of you. And we have to sit down for a program together. I mean, you guys have so much knowledge among you that we definitely have to have a further conversation. But thanks for coming, all right?
Okay.
One more thing, Reese, tell me. You want to say something else?
No, please.
No, you're just saying bye.
Bye.
You want to do a little bit of weather as we go to the break? Do you remember your lines?
I'm fine.
What about you, Noah?
I think I'm good as well.
Claire? Okay.
I'm accomplished already.
She's accomplished already, people. Yeah. Okay?
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Do you look like your dad? Do people often say, use the spitting image of your father? That likeness could make your dad a winner in our CBC Mini-Me Father's Day contest. From June 1st to 6th, submit a photo of your dad and his lookalike son or daughter to marketing@cbc.bb or via WhatsApp to 467-5465. Then rally your family and friends to vote on CBC Barbados on Facebook and CBC Barbados 246 on Instagram from June 8th to 10th. The photo with the most votes wins a staycation at the luxurious Sun Bay Hotel. Gift vouchers compliments world-class cuts, and a photo shoot compliments 8216 Logistics. What are you waiting for? Get those photos with Dad in now.
The ultimate cricket showdown is coming to ESPN, and MCTV has got you covered. The ICC Cricket World Cup 2024 is here on ESPN and MCTV. Tune into MCTV channels 302 and 308.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So we're already into the last few minutes of Morning Barbados. We want to remind you today is your final day to get those entries in for the Father's Day competition. That's right, if you have a lookalike son or daughter, you absolutely have to make sure you get those entries in. Do it, do it, do it. Do it now, because that part of the competition closes off today. So go ahead and get them in. Remember, you're emailing your entries to us here at the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. It's very, very simple. Or emailing marketing@cbc.bb. The WhatsApp number is 467-5465. So 467-5465. And grab that picture of you and the little one and send it in for a chance at a staycation at Sun Bay Hotel. Gift vouchers, compliments world-class cuts, and a photo shoot compliments 8216 Logistics. We want to make Father's Day excellent for dads. Today is Q Day. That's right, it's Thursday. Q in the community is happening today. We are over at Ragged Point Bar and Grill, Ragged Point St. Philip, from 11 o'clock this morning. You can find the Q crew there. Live radio broadcast will be online as well from 2 to 5 o'clock. So the entire Q crew will be there. Jaquila, Andre is going to be in studio, but making sure things happen. And of course, Kimberly, and they really get out and share with the Q crew when it comes to QFM. So you can also check out the live stream on Facebook as well on the Q100.7 FM page. And if you're not already a friend, make sure you follow that page to find out a little bit more. Listen in to Q100.7 FM as well. They're also on Instagram, so no excuses. Also, Cricket Shots is an opportunity to watch cricket live and have a good time at different locations. Tonight, we are at Highgate Bar, Dash Valley, St. George. That's this afternoon, rather. We're at Highgate Bar, Dash Valley, from 3 o'clock in the evening. DJ Ras is going to be your guy on the ground. So check out Cricket Shots, another one of our initiatives for kind of cricket and crop over. So Highgate Bar is what's happening tonight. And then over the weekend, we're going to head down to the Rihanna Drive watch party from just about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So make sure you get out with DJ Ras and come for the shots, but stay, of course, for the cricket. Also, our second Rum and Souse is coming up this weekend. First and last bar, Upper Carlton St. James, is exactly where we're going to be. Our next stop is that spot on Saturday, and we get started from 10 o'clock in the morning. The Hyperdrive team, they're the ones who will be keeping you entertained. I don't know about you, but hearing all the action at the various venues and driving around, it makes you feel like you definitely have to be a part of it. Plus, like we told you, we are sharing the pop-up parties with you. We have a pop-up party coming up this Friday as well as we continue. It's the Barbados Lottery White Oak Rum pop-up parties, 98.1 FM pop-up parties at the Sip and Lick Bar is where we will be this weekend. They're at Six Men's in St. Peter. So make sure that you head on down and be a part of that as well. Lots happening. We also have some new programs coming on stream from Friday night. We are going to be right here live with the Admiral as we get into all the action for crop over. You don't want to miss that. Plus, we're taking care of the cricket, both on 94.7 FM. During the day, during the matches, you get live commentary. And then in the evening, we have post-match shows at 8:05 p.m. here on TV8. It's time for another break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up today's show.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The ultimate cricket showdown is coming to ESPN, and MCTV has got you covered. The ICC Cricket World Cup 2024 is here on ESPN and MCTV. Tune into MCTV channels 302 and 308, and don't miss a single six, wicket, or heart-pounding moment as top teams vie for the 2024 T20 World Cup. From June 1st to 29th, it's cricket you can't afford to miss. Tune into ESPN on MCTV, and for live radio coverage, tune into 94.7. Catch every moment of the ICC Cricket World Cup T20 action.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling all together.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Morning to you indeed. Now we have some great news. So on Tuesday this week, Rihanna took to Instagram to share that her beauty care line, her beauty empire, is expanding to hair care, and it's coming soon in a campaign video showcasing a variety of hair types and textures, including Rhee's shaggy blonde pixie cut. The Fenty Beauty founder, now 36 years old, gives fans a sneak peek into her newest product line. Fenty Hair will focus on reparative formulas that work for all hair types. We look forward to it, Rihanna, and we know what the struggle is like for girls with curly tresses. So we look forward to that as well. Something new for Rihanna. Well, you know that USA and the Caribbean are the co-hosts for the ICC Cricket World Cup 2024, the men's competition. So as co-hosts, the ambassadors went to Kensington Oval to share a message.
Everyone's excited today. Yeah. So gentlemen, thank you for joining me. We're just days away from the Cricket World Cup. How are you feeling? You had a big job. You were ambassador for Barbados to the United States, and you came and you took an even bigger job, which is throwing the Cricket World Cup.
I like to say that cricket is really at the core of our national development, both social and economic development. As a matter of fact, of our two living national heroes, one of them is a cricketer, the Right Excellence Gaddafi Sowers. But this World Cup means a lot to Barbados because this is going to really be, in our opinion, the platform for the creation of a new industry for cricket, a new industry for Barbados, which, better said, is cricket.
Tell us about what you've had to do to bring this to the world. I mean, this facility is phenomenal. I love the architecture and design, and it's a very iconic looking building. Tell us what you've had to do, you and your team, to bring it to the Cricket World Cup level.
We did an overall assessment of the facility. We had visits from Cricket West Indies and the ICC, who also did an assessment, and we got together and we said, okay, if we want to bring the facility back up to world-class standards, just not minimum standards, but world-class standards, one of the things that we needed to do. So we went ahead, and then we got the assistance from the government. The government has been very, very committed to the project, to the process, because of the importance of cricket in Barbados and the West Indies.
I think this exquisite game, which I don't understand, to be very honest. I will soon. I'm going to learn, I promise. I have friends like you that'll teach me. It brings people together. It brings out the best in people, and I see that. I see that in my time in Barbados. I mean, cricket is an amazing sport, and more Americans are going to learn about it, and you are responsible for that. For broad America, it is still a pretty unusual game. We don't quite get. We see it on TV occasionally, and I think that you're going to make it more accessible, and I think that is really important, because I think that you've done such a great job. It's so clear, just being here today and soaking in the good vibes from all the work. You can hear the workers in the background, and I think this is going to be a fantastic game. It's going to strengthen our ties between the United States and the West Indies, and specifically Barbados. I think that our relationship is already very strong, and it's only going to get stronger. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
That is pretty cool stuff. So from Ambassador Nias, of course, Damien, who is CEO down there at Comey, and our own Ambassador Lynch. Good job, guys. Good job. And you definitely have to make sure that you get Ambassador Nias on board in learning more about cricket. You can't be a Bajan if you don't know about cricket, and as long as you're here, you have to learn. All right, coming up tomorrow, right here on Morning Barbados. We're going to have a performance by soca artist Stabby. He's going to be here. He's bringing some crop over and soca action to Morning Barbados. So get ready for it. It will be Friday. I'm going to make sure that I am dressed for the occasion. In the next chapter, we're talking to D2, David Davis. He's going to be in to tell us more about the book. And we will meet a transformational, motivational speaker, author, and entrepreneur. Plus, a representative of Banks Barbados Breweries will be here to discuss their special plans for Q in the community coming up on Thursday, June 13th. So that and a whole lot more is coming up on the Friday version of Morning Barbados. Have a great day today, and we'll see you, God willing, tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.